Watch Pope Leo XIV step into St. Peter's Basilica balcony. Many people recognize him as their old friend, Robert Prevost.
That's right. We're joined live by Reverend William Lego of St. Turibius Parish in Chicago. He attended seminary with the Pope, and he's known him since the sixth grade.
Sixth grade.
I know, that's a long time. Reverend, thanks for being with us this morning.
No, you're welcome.
I know you've been talking about this with people probably all over the world at this point, so thank you for speaking with us.
But I like to correct you, just and because we're classmates, I could say this.
Okay.
The Pope is famous because he knows me.
Oh, right. You know, and I love that you start with that. We keep reading that the Pope has a great sense of humor.
Yeah.
I don't think that's something we're going to get to see.
Appreciate it.
I can see why he's friends with someone like you.
Yeah. Well, yeah, as I said, we met in sixth grade. It was a whole different process, and he was always a student. He's always very deliberate and stuff. He knows how to have fun, and we would do that. I mean, people ask me for anecdotes, but I won't talk about the Pope that way. So
you're not giving us any little fun facts or stories?
Well, the fun facts that I think one of the more he loves to drive, and the Pope is usually driven everywhere. So I think that's going to be one of his sacrifices. If you talk about some particular things he likes to do, he always likes to drive.
Oh, interesting.
That was part of his thing. Yeah, he always likes to drive. So be driven around, I think that's going to be a little change for him.
Maybe he can adjust.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, I'm sure. I mean, I'm sure, but it's he's been prepared well for it. Like you mentioned, we were in the seminary for 13 years, 4 years of high school, 4 years of college, 1 year of a very specific year called a novitiate, where we really were asked to decide and discern, is the word the church uses, if we want to be Augustinians and priests. Then 4 years in the Catholic Theological Union. Then after that, that's when we kind of split, because then that's when he went to Rome to do higher studies, and he went down to Peru. I worked also in Peru. We were there at the same time.
Oh.
But he stayed a lot more years than I did. Then he was Prior General of the Augustinian Order. And I think that experience, if anything, is going to help him be Pope, because for us, our Prior General is similar to the Pope. He sets the direction, and he does suggestions on how we should live our charism, which is calling people into communion and sharing the things that we have to make sure everybody has what they need. And I think just listening to some of the stuff he has already said, I think those are going to be stuff that he's going to focus on in his as Pope.
If you've known him this long, what are some of his attributes that have remained the same over all these years, and where have you seen some changes?
Very studious. He's very studious. When he's going to speak and suggest things, it's after a long time of reflection. He doesn't do snap judgments. It takes time. And I think that's one of his gifts. And I think as much as it's a gift, it's going to probably frustrate some people because they're going to want stuff quicker.
Right. Yeah. In this day and age, we like things pretty fast.
Right. From everything you're saying, though, it doesn't sound like you're super surprised that he ended up on this great path.
Well, surprised, yeah. He is the baby of our class. There were 5 of us that were ordained, so he's the baby of the class. But he's always been very talented. He's always had good administration. When he was named bishop and then eventually cardinal, I'm not all that surprised that he was elected, was chosen Pope. It's still always a surprise, but I'm not shocked. Because people ask me, well, you're shocked. No, I'm not. Surprised, yeah, but not shocked.
Okay, okay, that makes sense. Reverend, you are such the epitome of Chicago to me. and
That's what I've been told.
Yes.
Let me share one mime that I got that I've seen. Chicago's been great on mimes. The one I got last night, which I thought was really good, is it says, only in Chicago. There were 133 cardinals voting for Pope Leo, and he got 140 votes.
A lot of younger generations may not know that, but Chicago's known for, kind of
a little bit,
like padding elections, just a little bit.
Well, there you go. I love that you're a comedian on the side of being a reverend here. You're quite the character.
But I did want to ask you.
Yeah, you got to have a good sense of humor for life. You have to be serious when you need to be, and he will be. But he knows how to enjoy life also.
So you're enjoying the memes as well, which I appreciate. But is he, I've heard he's like the least American Pope. But from what you're saying, is that not really true?
You know what? It is true to a very long extent because, yeah, he has a birthright in Chicago and Dalton. But a majority of his ministerial life was overseas, either in Europe, Rome, or in South America. he was very few years working in the States. You know, so yes, we're always American. I mean, when I went to Peru, I would never say that I would become Peruvian. I have an identification for the culture. I am always from the States, and I think even for the Pope, for Pope Leo, he always will identify with the States, but we're always then influenced by the experiences of our life. And that always colors us. So yes, he's an American, but with the more international flavor.
Okay.
Well,
So-
Reverend Lego, you were a pleasure to speak
I know.
with.
So are you a White Sox fan like him, or did you fight
See,
about
that's
that?
the thing. I pray for his conversion. I'm a Cubs fan.
That's in the prayer
I'm
box,
from the north side of the city. I'm from the north side, and he's from the south. And I work in a parish on the south side, so I always pray for my parishioners' conversion into the Cubs.
You are kicks, Reverend Lego. It was so fun speaking with you this morning.
Thanks for having me.
Thanks for being with us.